The Huastex aren't just some real estate company selling ready-made houses, they're one of the Mesoamerican tribes. Usually, nobody plays the Huastex because right next door are the mighty Aztecs. But today, I am playing the Huastex and I'm going to create the strongest country in the world. I'll do this by playing a development-focused strategy, which means a lot of clicking on those little plus signs. Not an easy task, since we start as a primitive nation with major penalties to development. The aforementioned Aztecs, who have an insanely strong ruler, are an aggressive nation and a serious threat. And let's not even talk about the colonial powers. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. Luckily, the country's missions, national ideas and religion, once I reform it, should help me out. Welcome imperialists, Lucas here. Of course, I'm playing on Iron Man. I chose this nation not because it's the best, but because once you form the Mayapan League with it, you get that achievement. If you don't care about the achievement, it's better to pick Chu or Itza. It's just way easier that way. My first step is to roll a decent ruler, which isn't exactly easy.
3 weeks later.
So use this free time to check out ENEBA. There are tons of new deals going on. Lots of both new and old games at really good prices. For example, I recently bought Fabledom even though I haven't had as much time to play it as I'd like. But I mean, the price was basically free. Highly recommend. Lucas, links as usual are in the description. Now this heir isn't perfect, but I probably won't get a better one. As the Huastex, I'll basically go to war immediately since I need to reach this specific region as fast as possible. There's a culture there that I belong to. And more importantly, that means I'll conquer provinces in that region faster and face fewer rebellions. And conquests are necessary, because to start reforming the religion, I need 20 provinces. For now, I'm just taking points and nothing else, because I want to keep estate influence as low as possible. That way, I'll get more land back during conquests. Next, I take out some cheap loans, didn't give me much money, but enough to recruit an army. I was hoping to get a cheaper military advisor, but not this time. I'm not taking the mission for development just yet, instead, I'm going with the one for more allies, since it works perfectly with this mission. And I cancel some recruitment, because with the loan money I'll just get another mercenary company and 2,000 regular infantry. That gives me a total army of 10,000. Oh, and I'm also taking land back. I usually forget to show that, but I assume you guys are doing it anyway. Then I unpause and start looking for allies, importantly ones who aren't allied with Yokotan. Though from what I can see, allies might be hard to come by, so I take one more privilege that boosts relations with countries of the same religion. On the 30th, I pick my rivals, everyone I can of course, and on December 12th, I declare war on Totonac because they only have one ally. If they had two, I would have waited. Actually, I am waiting, forgot about the other two alliances I want to make. Still, I'm not completing that mission for alliances just yet, since I might snag a third one soon. I attack Totonac with a special Mayan casus belli, it gives lower aggressive expansion. Meanwhile, my diplomats are improving relations with other nations. Maybe I'll get the Zapotecs as future allies. They're big, have a decent army, and they're not Mayans. I'm holding my ground bravely on enemy forts. Luckily, the Aztecs noticed Totonac's weakness and declared war on them. Super helpful. Now that my army has grown, I can complete the mission for the collapse of Mayapan and choose one of the rewards. Yes, lower development costs would help. Actually, no, don't take that seriously. I'm going with extra morale. And now comes the event for the Mayapan League. A bit late, since it boosts relations with all countries sharing my culture, makes alliances easier. I'm tempted to make the Mixtecs my vassal, but nah, I'll just change their religion, take their money and force war reparations. That way I can take the second mission reward, favor points with all my allies, so they'll help in my early wars. Unless you prefer vassals, let me know in the comments. I take all of Totonac for myself. Lower war exhaustion first, then core the provinces. Playing as the Maya, we'll need tons of admin points, so I need to save as many as I can. After my first war, I've got nearly 20% crown land. Not bad, not bad. I also have 3 allies now, those blue countries with yellow stripes. You might even see them here. Perfect time to complete that mission gives me 10 trust with other countries. There's actually a tooltip error there, by the way. As for Yokotan, bad luck. My allies don't really want to help me in that war. But fortunately, Yokotan is allied with Itza and there my allies will help. The key was to quickly occupy Yokotan's provinces. Now I have to figure out the best forts to fight on, either to give the enemy heavy penalties or so I can win easily. It's rough. But that win let me finish the mission that required defeating 20,000 enemy troops. That boosted my army tradition, might get a solid general out of that. Wall breach! Time to storm the fort and I got their capital fast with basically no losses. I had 7,800 troops, now I have 7,600. Oh no, my fleet, my kayaks. Anyway, for now I'm just taking 2 provinces from Yokotan and as much money as I can. It's a tough war and I'll get another chance to finish them off later, if you know what I mean. Though I think my allies paid the price, look how they're retreating now. Meanwhile, I'm wrecking enemy armies. Since they're split up, great time to strike while they're weakened. Gotta love those super helpful allies who go and capture provinces right in the middle of your conquests. Opportunity. I hired more mercs and launched another war. There's a fort that's been under siege for a while, about to fall, so I attack a new country with the Maya Confederation Casus Belli. But I have to end the previous war first, only take one province thanks to my helpful ally. Then I call him into the new war, time to return the favor. Unfortunately, I'm still short 9 provinces and I've been unlucky in these wars, so it'll be tough to catch up. So now I'm focusing on destroying enemy armies and it's going pretty well. I think I've beaten all of them, now I'm sieging all their provinces at once. From the newly conquered land, I'll steal development, lets me core cheaply. Like I said, I want to save admin points. You'll see why soon. As for aggressive expansion, I'm not too worried. Most of what I'm conquering is in my culture group and the Mayan religion. The only thing I need to watch is how much aggressive expansion the Aztecs are getting. Oh, turns out I only need 3 more provinces. After these conquests, I think it's time to hand out the rest of my estates. Honestly, I should have done it earlier, just forgot. So here's how my privileges are looking in the end. Very important one here gives stronger infantry. The rest are pretty standard. This time I got a cheaper military advisor through an estate agenda. And I'm hiring him right away. Yup, I'll get the last 3 provinces now, just gotta smash the enemy's army. Perfect, all mine. Next step, core the conquered provinces. And now I can complete the mission that required me to own 20 provinces. Small bonus, but still something. Before I complete the next mission, I'll wait until I get 2 stability. Minus 20 autonomy in all my territories, that's worth it. Fortunately, coring will go really fast since it's my culture group, takes like 1.5 years instead of 3. And since I'm even making money now, I went ahead and hired a few advisors. So in the end, this is how my privileges look. That privilege that gives me stronger infantry is really important, and thanks to it, you'll also complete that mission which will further upgrade the privilege. The sooner, the better. The remaining privileges are just standard. Finally, my new super ruler has ascended to the throne, who, unlike his father, actually has some diplomatic skills. And it just so happens that I can now carry out the first reform since I meet all the requirements, although I can't show them to you right now. However, before I do that, I'm raising stability to +2, because I want to lower autonomy in all my provinces by about 20%, thanks to that mission that gives me 10% reduction per each stability point. Beautiful. And additionally, of course, I'll manually reduce that autonomy too, since I want to deal with rebellions the normal way. As I said, autonomy is the biggest enemy in this game. Thanks to that, I can now field a 20,000-man army. I'll also complete the mission for dominance over Yucatan. And now the time has come to reform my society. And I have to admit, the Mayan religion is the worst religion to reform, because with the Aztecs you just lose some vassals when you reform. With the Incas there's a small revolt, but with the Mayans I unfortunately lose 2 stability points and all provinces over 15 develop, plus a whole bunch of other negative modifiers. Oh, and just so you know, the first upgrade reduces the cost of coring new provinces. And here's how my country's borders look. Each additional reform makes me lose 1 less province, so down to 16, then 17, and so on. Sure, and now I got a free point of stability. This game just loves to troll me. But now I want to test if it always releases the same provinces. I'll lower the development in the ones I'm supposed to lose, because you know, they'll be cheaper to reconquer. I did the reform and yep, the exact same provinces got released. Also, I didn't read closely enough. I didn't need to manually lower autonomy because I automatically lost 10% from doing the reform. Stupid me. And now I get a 5-year penalty that blocks the next reform. Look, it's written here. You can see the exact negative modifier right here. However, I can now carry out this mission to reform our society, which lets me do that mission again. Kinda funny mechanic, but very unique in the end. Since you already know I'll need a lot of administrative points, I think I've said that like 3 times now, I'm switching focus to administrative. And I'm leveling up the cheaper military advisor to level 2. Honestly, until we reform our country, the best use of money is to level up advisors to build up points. And now, because of my own stupidity, I have to suppress rebellions. A lot of rebellions. So much for enjoying my stability. Oh no, but whatever, I've got tons of rebellions anyway. Oh, and now I can get rid of that nasty previous modifier. I forgot I also got a cheaper advisor from the mission. It's worth leveling him up to at least level 2, maybe even 3 over time. Oh, and what's worse, I noticed I lost my territorial claims on those provinces. I knew I'd lose cores, but claims too? That sucks, really sucks. But it's not a big deal, I'm continuing my conquests anyway. No kidding. That went smoothly. I'm grabbing another 5 provinces and coring them again, and that's basically what reforming this religion is, repeatedly conquering the same stuff. I also won 25 battles, so I'll upgrade the privilege for my infantry again. Later I might have a problem getting obsidian, which lines up perfectly with doing the second reform. Honestly, any of the 3 reforms could go first. The colonist is probably the least useful though. What a surprise, the same provinces got released again. Let me know if it's the same for you. I mean, of course, 1 less province now. I've got 16 left, and I can reform society again, and yeah, that modifier stacks really nicely. Now I've got a chance to attack Tlaxcala, who are a republic, wow. But honestly, what I care about here is humiliation. So I'm calling in my allies to do all the work for me, and can I make Tlaxcala my tributary? Nope! But I'd get 100 monarchy points of each type, which is a huge deal. Just better check how many points I'm missing before I hit the cap. And then I'll repeat this with a few of my other rivals. Turns out the Aztecs reformed. I was waiting for that, since they lost most of their vassals in the region. Yay, an heir, wow, nah! Let's just say he had an unfortunate accident during a religious ceremony. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm advancing diplomatic and administrative tech. It's always worth waiting close to the cap here to get the biggest discounts on tech cost. And I'm collecting more monarch points from my rivals. Maybe I'll get lucky and my neighbors will conquer Itza. That would be really nice. Unfortunately, they didn't conquer all of it. Shame, I need that one province too. Alright, I'll just attack the Zapotecs. I also gained a few tributaries. Let's see how that plays out. For now, I'll have them send me manpower. And these tributaries are actually pretty cool, since you can annex them like regular vassals later on. After these conquests, I can afford another reform. This time, I'll go with a more stable nation. Oh no, where else did I lose something? Ah, right here with the Zapotecs. Now I also got a special privilege and a Huastex mercenary company, because I'm aiming to be the hegemon in the region. Thanks to that, my subjects will have higher liberty desire, but I increase my force limit. Pretty strong actually. Wait, I lost my vassals? Well, nice that it was written somewhere. Probably was. As usual, I didn't read it. Hey, but those mercenaries are really strong, just expensive. Now I've got 2 wars going on at once, and this time I'm taking very specific provinces and skipping extra money because I want to be able to attack these nations again quickly. I needed those exact provinces to form the Mayans, and honestly, the worst thing in the Mayan religion reform process is that modifier. Because as long as I have it, I can't reduce war exhaustion. So just before that effect ends, I become an empire. Yay! New color, cooler name, and I now accept all cultures from my group. Oof, but I lost my casus belli. Honestly, not great, and at this point you'd also get that achievement I mentioned earlier. Oh, my game crashed. Sorry, but that casus belli was just too good. That's why I'll form the Mayans at the end. Don't tell me I'm just lucky. Could it be that someone is already colonizing here? Nah, it's probably just natives. And yep, time for the 4th reform. And yep, it says right here, all my vassals become independent. This really is the worst religion to reform. I only need 2 more provinces for the last reform, so I'm quickly grabbing them from my neighbor. And now I'm facing a very tough decision. I don't even know which one to pick. But maybe let's rip out some hearts. Yeah, and now I just need to wait. So, the Portuguese have arrived. And that means there really might be Spanish colonies here. Alright, but now I have to break all the alliances in the area because I need to start preparing for major conquests. Raise the army! I've also prepared 2 pretty good generals since I have 100 army tradition points. All thanks to this mission. So I'm carrying out the final reform and losing the last territories. Finally! Unfortunately, carrying out all those reforms doesn't mean we stop being a primitive nation. For that, we need a nearby colonizer or a nation that has adopted feudalism. The best thing to do now is to focus on further conquests. I also complete the mission to reform my society one last time. And while I did reform my beliefs, I'll leave this mission for later, once I'm no longer primitive. Time to start the conquest! Beautiful, the enemies don't stand a chance. I'm also attacking the remaining Mayan countries. And that's about it for now, because I have truces with the rest. That was a lot of conquering. I also started colonizing in this direction, but remember, you need to leave at least 1 province open so the Spanish or Portuguese can appear. I also built 2 forts. Because first, they'll help with conquest of all those primitive neighboring nations, and they'll also come in handy during wars with European immigrants. So basically, after conquering most of the Mayan territory, I'll wait a bit to lose that negative modifier and get rid of war exhaustion, then I'll carry out a few extra reforms to strengthen my fort's defense and beef up my army. And to continue the missions, I need to form the Mayans, and now seems like the right time to form that empire. I'll get a greatly expanded mission tree, it's massive really, but I'll also gain tons of territorial claims. And remember, when you have territorial claims, scoring costs less and is faster. Alright, maybe not tons of claims, and unfortunately it looks like I'll now have to face off with the Aztecs. The ideal situation would be if the Aztecs got another vassal and carried out their reform, then I could start my conquests. But I won't wait, I'm grabbing military tech 5, it gives a massive advantage since we get a new unit type with more pips. Oh, and I still have my casus belli, how nice. First, I'll try to win a battle with the Aztecs, which as you can see won't be easy. So I'll call in my special mercenaries, and now I think the war will go much smoother, especially once I attack with a numbers advantage. Yes, look at the losses I'm dealing them. And defeating the Aztecs caused their vassals to become disloyal, so they won't join the war. And now, after some reflection, I think I made a mistake with that mission. I should have used it after conquering all of Central America. Then I would have gotten minus 30 autonomy everywhere. In the meantime, I got Administrative Tech 5, which lets me choose an idea group. No surprise here, I'm going with Aristocratic and Infrastructure. Not sure if there's an alternative for this country. Let me know in the comments, I'm curious what you'd pick. Alternatively, picking exploration and developing the first 2 ideas to quickly discover the Caribbean and steal institutions from there would be a solid move. That might actually be the smartest option. But as usual, I take humanist ideas and wait for the event that makes ideas cheaper. although I'm starting to doubt it even exists. Now I'm destroying the last of the Aztec armies. Or not. Funnily enough, some Aztec vassals just declared war on them and are fighting for independence. So basically, the Aztecs only have 2 vassals left. I won't be able to conquer all of them. Oh, and this cultural group you see here, if possible, I'll convert them to mine. It's too small to add as an accepted culture. Different story with the Aztecs. And now, just as I was getting close to uniting all of Mexico, Spain decided to declare war on me, which, I won't lie, was a bit of a surprise. Strangely, they're demanding mostly Aztec provinces they won't even be able to annex. And of course, immigrants mean disease. They've arrived, and more penalties for my army, but I won't give up because they have to cross a massive lake to be able to take that province. The first Spaniards have arrived, folks. They don't have a general, but they've got artillery and some kind of dragons they ride. Horses, obviously. Okay, I have no clue if the Aztecs believed in dragons. And honestly, we might as well prepare for the arrival of the bad guys. Although I admit the tech discount alternative is pretty tempting too. But all stats that improve my army are essential right now. And so, brilliantly led, we attack the Spaniards, who have higher morale, discipline and tactics. The only thing we've got is superior numbers and a commander, and yeah, that might be enough to win, might win, am I winning? Wow, they inflicted serious losses. Alright, kind of even. But I'll manage, because they're retreating to the adjacent province, which lets me stag wipe their army. Take that, Europeans. Immigrants won't be invading my country. It'll probably get worse once they finally have a general. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with rebellions, because things are just going too well. Now the second wave of immigrants has arrived, and we're doing some kind of pushback. Hey, it's legal this year! And another stack wipe. Beautiful. Oh no, more smallpox? Yeah, because things were too easy so far. And honestly, it was easy. And my enemies seem to be making it even easier. Look, they're sending more troops without a commander. Best to intercept them while they're landing. That way they'll deal less damage despite the penalties. Wait, they're winning? They're winning! How are they winning? Alright, after losing that battle, Castile sent more troops. I think I just need to survive another 4 months. I must say, Spain is demanding really weird provinces. I can give them this one, not that one either, super weird. Oh well, I'll give them this one province, which causes an institution to start spreading here. And once it does, I'll be able to reform my religion. So now it's best to just save up monarchy points and spend nothing. And since plague is now spreading across my lands, well, smallpox, I can complete this mission, which gives me a very cool privilege. Smallpox mitigation, it reduces dev costs from tax income, although only in provinces with my primary culture. I also unlocked tropical adaptation at some point, no idea when. Funniest thing, in 5 years Castile colonized the province next to me and has colonialism there, but still hasn't spread any institutions to the province they took from me. But because colonialism is there, I can reform my religion, grants me 3 institutions and only 3 techs. That's very little. Honestly, it's been so long since I reformed the country this way, I'm shocked how few tech levels I got. To be honest, it only boosted my admin and diplotech. Military tech stayed the same. And somehow I got 2 random reforms. Apparently, I adopt the ones Spain has. But hey, I immediately became a great power. And more importantly, after a month, I lost all those negative modifiers. I think now's a good time to start the Mayan Golden Era. It also reduces all costs by 10%, so now I'm finally catching up on tech. First up, diplomatic tech. At level 9, I unlock tech espionage. Here it is. It works like this. If you have a spy network in a country that has at least 2 tech levels more than you get tech discounts. Thanks to that, I caught up on military tech nicely and introduced admin tech too, though I'm still 1 level behind there. Even at low cost, I'm already unlocking idea groups. What matters most now is keeping focus on admin points. We have a good level 3 advisor. And I now need to conquer the rest of these provinces before Castile does. And honestly, I'm considering going for tributaries to get more monarchy points. Instead of conquering these regions, just have 1 tributary in each. Since I'll probably play more of a toll game, I'll take centralized bureaucracy. I also don't expect this era to last long enough to make church taxes worthwhile. Besides, let's be honest, I have so much gold here, it's embarrassing to ask for more taxes. Oh, and I've got the 4th reform. Now's probably a good time to take the development mission. Even though I haven't finished my ideas yet, I'll be developing something at least with Diplo points. So yeah, I'm taking those 2 dev-related privileges. Meanwhile, I'm continuing the conquest. And look here, just out of curiosity, flat terrain costs 25 points to dev. Pretty steep. But tropical provinces, 32 points. Not bad. Some of these can already be developed up to level 10. Alright then, my goal now will be to conquer the rest of the post-Aztec states, which shouldn't be much of a problem, since my enemies are still at tech level 4 to 5, while I'm basically at 10, so I'm annihilating their armies. And I'm waging war with all the countries at once. From what I can tell, to take back my territory from Castile, I'll have to wait a bit, because right now I'd have to go to war with France and Portugal too. Yeah, totally easy opponents. Since I'm also gathering a lot of diplomatic points, I'm changing my culture to my primary one, so I can enjoy that modifier for boosting province development. After a while, I've already conquered most of the territory, and right next to me a colony has formed that I can attack from time to time. I'm also starting to earn pretty well, and I'm still putting most of it toward maintaining my advisors. Hey, my ruler is still alive. 73 years old, that's gotta be some kind of record. Now I'm attacking Castile to recover my territory. Ugh, and Spain wants to intervene in this war. Alright, I don't want to fight them just yet, so I'll take a white peace for now. It's not the right time yet to reclaim that province. I just don't want to go all out with my army size. I can have 63,000 troops while Spain has 46,000. And so much for enjoying the life of my ruler. Ooh, but the heir that was born is amazing. And of course, just when you're supposed to start building structures, you get a construction penalty. This game just hates me. As for how I'll develop my country, here's the plan. I'll take cheap 1% loans and build production buildings for goods that aren't fish or grain, and that's pretty much it. All the other goods get manufacturing buildings, and once I start earning more from those buildings, I'll pay off the loans. Then I take new, slightly bigger 1% loans. I do this only with buildings that increase my income, so temples, trade, and production. Oh no, after smallpox came a plague, these Europeans are brutal. Luckily, my second war with Castile ends with the recovery of my territory. And right now, I still want that colony to grow, so it gives me way more money. Not sure if you know, but these colonies bring in huge amounts of cash later. And they're usually easy to beat. And here I go again with construction. I also built some churches. Many gave me plus 15. And honestly, that's enough for now. Finally, I'm building all the trade buildings along with trade centers. Now I've noticed that the most powerful development modifier is at the very end of the mission tree. Minus 30% is seriously OP. To get it ASAP, I need to build 2 manufactories and have a few grain provinces with either a manufactory or production building. So everything can be combined. The final mission requires me to develop 40 different jungle provinces. And I'm doing that slowly now. Meanwhile, I'm changing the culture of my whole country to my primary culture. With one exception, the Aztec culture, because that's where most of the gold mines are, and I'll max them out to level 15, no more than that. I finished developing the idea group, so I now have the max bonus to development. I also assigned development edicts everywhere. So now it's time to dev up the jungle around level 15 in each province. And I've got that upgraded tropical adaptation privilege. Honestly, it's super impressive. Look at that, minus 30%. Right now maybe the development in all these territories doesn't look that great, but I have a feeling this place will be very green by the end. And that I'll go from 5th place to 1st among empires easily. After winning the invasion war, I got the option to introduce some upgrades to my country. And honestly, I'll go with the high American unit type, it's the strongest in the game. Although I think I'll be able to get them from a mission later too. Hey, I've got another mission that gives a dev cost reduction. Now I've got to choose my third set of ideas, and to be honest, I'm struggling. None of the diplomatic ones really seem worth taking for the rest of the game. It's a real dilemma. Sure, I could conquer more with diplomatic ideas, strengthen trade with trade ideas, plus get a 10% production boost, which might be the best option, or expand my navy with maritime ideas. Honestly, those 3 are the only choices I see. So I'm hoping you can help me decide what to take next as the Mayans. Meanwhile, I'll check how much it costs to core these post-colonial provinces, because I never remember. I might go with administrative ideas again. Oh great, rebellions, but in a good spot. Alright, maybe the cost isn't that high, but still, I feel like administrative ideas will be useful. 10 more years of developing my country and I'm earning great income, can field almost 100,000 army, and I've got decent manpower growth. My fleet can be almost twice as big as before. But most importantly, it's time to choose the future of my empire. I can form the Mayan Confederation, which is actually really strong for vassal-based play and annexation. I can go with a monarchy, a kind of holy monarchy, which is amazing for conquest because it boosts absolutism efficiency. Plus 15% absolutism efficiency is a lot. I could also become a republic, which gives 666 rulers, or a theocracy, or just take 250 government reform points. And honestly, at this moment, I want to become a republic. I've got an absolutely insane ruler who's super young, so switching to a republic makes perfect sense. Although, I'm wondering if I'll lose my special government form, because honestly, it'd be cool to keep it. Alright, I tested it on the console. And yeah, it's best to take that special government form for now, especially since I'll be able to switch to a republic soon anyway. And later, if I want to go back to a monarchy, I'll have the option to choose Divine Knightship again. And not gonna lie, for conquest and late game, post 1600 play, that form is insanely strong. Time to also restore the Mayan golden cities. That should reduce the cost of upgrading my monuments. Hey wait, am I seeing this right? My 3 provinces with the highest development will get plus 25% production. Whoa. Yep, confirmed. One of those provinces is Mexico, which has 28 dev, and the other 2 had 25. Okay, time to make some changes and ensure my gold provinces are the best, also introducing parliamentarism in my country. That'll come in handy because, as we all know, parliamentary debates can reduce development costs. Oh, I just need someone to bribe. Got it. Meanwhile, I've developed the entire peninsula to at least 15 dev. It's amazing for development. I also prepared 3 provinces that now have the most development. One is a gold province with a powerful monument, Mexico, also with gold and a strong monument I'm about to max out. And my capital, because of course it's at 30 dev. Can't really top that. So now I've got an Aztec golden city with that insane gold production bonus. Same with Mexico. Golden city, and soon the temple will be fully upgraded. That's gonna be an absurd amount of gold income. And look, 15 dev in a province and I'm paying only 6 points per level. I think I found another really strong tollplay nation. I also fully upgraded my real golden city. And I've got to say, 30 gold from a single province is a lot. The area is also looking way greener now. And my country has grown to about 3rd place globally. What did Austria do? Maybe I'll find out someday. I've got an invasion fleet ready. In that other episode though, you'll find out why Poland is one of the best nations to play for development, even though Poland is designed more for conquest.